All right, so this week we are doing um, similar to what we did last week. We're comparing and contrasting stories instead of informational text. We are these we're going to compare and contrast these two stories. All right, so our objective is compare and contrast themes, settings, and plots of the stories written by the same author about the same or similar characters. All right, so some very important information in this objective. Uh, we are going to be talking about the themes, so the moral of the story, the settings, so the setting's going to be extremely important, and the plots of the stories. Okay, what the story is about, or how the events unfold in the story. So you want to make sure that you are focusing on those three things as you read through the story. The setting, you're going to be introduced to the setting early in the story. The theme, of course, will come along as you read the story, and then the plot are the events that are happening in the story. So I highly encourage you to take notes as you're going along. Number one, identify the setting, then maybe a brief note about the plots, and then when you get done, write down what you think the theme is. So that's going to help you tremendously when you get to the assessment portion of the exercise. All right, so as you know, three reads: read to understand, read to analyze, and read to write. So the first big question is, what adventures can a snake and a lizard share? Okay, that's what we're going to be focusing on first in the first read. Read number two, the big question is, what can we learn from snake and lizard about friendship? So we're going to be focusing on their friendship. And then read to write is going to be, what makes lizard both a foolish and a likable character? So we're going to look at those two traits and for lizard, and what makes him both a foolish and a likable character. All right, let's continue on.
Ready for our first read? It's important to read every sentence carefully. It's a big job, but don't worry, we'll do it together. I'll send you messages, and by the time we're done, you'll be an expert on this text. Let's go.
All right, so I'm not going to take you through this whole entire two texts, but I do want to ensure that you closely read the text as you go through. Remember, read through the text first and then click on our little friend to answer the questions. Remember, as you're going through, take a piece of paper, divide it in half, and take notes for the first story and the second story. And remember, you're focusing on the setting. Where does the story take place? So write down the setting as it comes along. Then the plot. As each event occurs, just put a brief note on your note paper as to what the event is. And then when you get done, write down what you think or you feel the theme, the moral of the story is. Okay? All right, so go ahead and read closely. Remember, click on your vocabulary words to get some help, and take your time. And remember, break this down into 3 days. So first day, you should be doing close read number one, and that's read to understand. You're reading to understand what's going on in the story. Then tomorrow or whenever, the next read that you do will be to read to analyze. You're analyzing the theme, the plots, and the settings. And then, of course, read number three will be where you read to write. All right, so take your time. Go through this first read really closely. And remember, take notes. Trust me.